Hey, I'm Anticio Duke, and look, we're going to talk about something different. We're going to discuss a lot of things relative to Black history. So, considering I do a lot of design and technical videos, I'd like to dive in some of the books that I've been reading and that have been giving me a lot more value in understanding and seeing Black history for what it is. Great. Today's book that we're going to cover has been in the archives of one of the great institutions, which is New York Times. Today, we're going to talk about Unseen. This amazing book is basically comprised of a log, a catalog of unseen and never publicized before photos of different people, different moments that are captured throughout the world, around the country. These photos tell a unique story, one that is comprised of pain, power, and prominence. Let's dive into it. It goes without saying, a book of this magnitude has a lot of different powerful people attached to it. Darcy Eveleigh, which is one of the editors. You have Dana Kennedy, amazing administrator, editor, being a member of a Pulitzer Prize winning team, just amazing. Damien Cave, who's an amazing photographer from Australia, definitely have a really good eye for storytelling, as well as Rachel Swartz, who's an author, an editor, journalist, investigative reporter in her own right. So the people that are attached to this project have amazing credits to their name, and they did this book justly. Again, diving into this book has been interesting. We see many images of different types of figures, and some of those either had political power or different forms of leadership. In this book, you'll see everything from young boys gearing up for war, Vietnam times, as well as different youth groups of young girls entering a mosque. And it spans a time zone between the 1960s, 70s, 80s, even to, sometimes present day. And it doesn't really simply go into those people who are well known, although it does capture those people of prominence now that we look at as leaders when they were up and coming. For example, being from Chicago, looking at the young Jesse Jackson preparing to go on a anti-discrimination rally in Chicago, capturing moments like that, as well as Al Sharpton giving and preparing for a speech in just an open area. Like, these are pretty pivotal moments, and very much those that are captured with really good insight. There's also bits about musicians. So Aretha Franklin, her behind the scenes sort of capture at the Apollo. Also different DJs and jazz players that you probably never really heard in the mainstream. All of this is to tell an untold story of people behind the scenes that have made impacts and have strived for something better, that have gone unnoticed. There is one particular person in this book, and I won't give any spoilers because this book has a wealth of images and people alike. But the monumental Rosa Parks and her arrival to the courthouse in Alabama. So looking at those things, we also know what Rosa Parks has done in our history books to pave the way for a lot of different things for a lot of different people, myself included. So this book is really a pleasure to view as well as read, because each photo has a glimpse of that story integrated into it. It talks about kind of the moment it was captured, or a snapshot of how it was developing. And that's to give you context as to how and why those photos were snapped in the first place. Now, keep in mind, this is from an archive. So I can only imagine what other photos, what other assets that were not displayed that really tell the entire picture. So I definitely recommend this book. Go out and get it. If not for Black history to understand it, just to keep your eye really focused on the types of photos. And you can see the stories being captured in each photo, but also just to gain knowledge about why and the moment in which it was shared. So I definitely recommend this book. If you don't have it, go and get it. I'll leave a link below, just so either you can access it or just, peruse it at your leisure. But I definitely recommend this book. Now, for those of you thinking that, oh, it's not a real rich literature-based book, well, there are, as I mentioned, some stories in it, but it's really a photojournalist book. For those of you like myself who are designers, who really want to keep your eyes sharp on how you see the world and how others have seen it, this is really a good book to capture that as well. Hope that helps. Definitely recommend this book to anyone who's just interested. And in the spirit of understanding Black history, go check it out. That's all I have. We'll see you in the next one.